My neighbor's wife said she never signed up for their 6 foster kids. I showed her what it means to step up. Lincoln moved in next door 3 years ago with his wife Angela and 6 foster kids, all half-siblings, ages 4 to 16. You could tell these kids had been through hell. The little ones flinched at loud noises. The older boys ate like they weren't sure food would exist tomorrow. Lincoln worked at a construction company, came home destroyed, but still shot hoops with the boys every night until dark. Angela handled the paperwork, therapy appointments, school stuff. They were trying to adopt all 6 together because the system wanted to split them up. I watched from my porch and thought they were either saints or insane, probably both. I'd bring over extra lasagna, help carry groceries, wave at the chaos. I'd aged out of foster care myself at 18 with nothing but a garbage bag of clothes. Took me a decade to build a life from that, so watching Lincoln and Angela fight to keep 6 kids together hit different for me. I knew exactly what those kids would lose if someone gave up. Then Angela left. She had been having an affair with Lincoln's brother for the past year. All she left was a note on the counter saying she never signed up for this and that fostering had stolen her life. Lincoln came home to 6 kids, a piece of paper, and over half his belongings just gone. I found out because the youngest knocked on my door asking for a sandwich. She said, "Dad's been sitting on the kitchen floor crying for a really long time." I walked over and found Lincoln at the table holding that note like it had physically wounded him. I asked what had happened and he broke down, telling me everything. I promised I'd help in any way I could, and I meant it. I was there when the social worker showed up a few days later. She looked around the house, looked at Lincoln, and said the words I knew were coming. "Single men rarely get approved for any foster kids, let alone 6 children. We'll need to reassess." That was the first hit. The second hit came a week later when the oldest boy, 14, ran away. Lincoln, the other kids, and I searched for hours. Cops found him at a bus station trying to get back to his biological mom who didn't want him. Then the 8-year-old girl stopped talking, completely, like someone had unplugged her voice. Lincoln tried talking to her therapist about it, but they said they couldn't see any of the kids until he updated their insurance. The worst was when Lincoln's employer cut his hours, all because he couldn't work overtime anymore. He knew financially he couldn't take care of all the kids now. His own mother even called and told him to let the kids go back to the system and rebuild your life. I was sitting on his porch when he hung up on her. One day I came over to cook everyone dinner, and I overheard him on the phone with an attorney. The court date to determine if the kids would be removed was set for 3 weeks out. The night I heard about the bankruptcy, I went home and cried for the first time in years, because I remembered being 12 and watching my foster dad pack my stuff into a trash bag, while his wife stood in the doorway saying, "We just can't do this anymore." I swore if I ever had the chance to help someone like me, I would. The next morning, the oldest girl showed up at my door. She'd been working secretly at a grocery store for 3 months, and lied about her age to get hired. She explained that the other kids had been selling their artwork, washing cars, doing yard work. They'd saved $2,400 in a shoebox, nowhere near enough. But they tried, and wanted me to give it to their foster dad and say it's an anonymous donation from the community. I looked at this exhausted kid who'd spent her whole life being failed by adults and said, "Not this time." I called everyone I knew. Within 4 days, we had dozens of people willing to show up as character witnesses and $50,000 raised, enough to help Lincoln buy time. I was at Lincoln's house every day that week, cooking, cleaning, driving kids to appointments. The judge approved the adoption for all 6 kids. One night we were on his porch after the kids went to bed, and he said, "Why did you do all this to help me? You don't owe us anything." I told him about my time in the foster system, about swearing I'd never be the person who walked away. He started crying. I held his hand. He held mine back. Neither of us let go for a long time.